And food.
No, I did not. I
Yeah.
talked to him last time I talked to him. He was going to the doctor for a visit there.
Friday.
And I've been.
We've got more people on it, that's what we need.
6th? Friday the 6th?
This last minute.
Mhm.
Oh, all right. The one I said you have to for my daughter's is first and my oldest grandson's is the second. My brother always picked on my wife. When my daughter was born, it's like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. He says, "Hold her in there a little longer. We'll call it in for." But then I ended up with my oldest grandson was born on groundhogs.
Is his name Gopher?
No, my brother died before that, so otherwise he'd probably call him Gold.
Finally,
Thursday, we try to do tomorrow.
okay, she's not available, she's in court all day, so it'll be Thursday.
I can zoom in.
I'll get some more information for the 22.
I think on Thursday, Friday off, so whatever time.
Too early. Yeah.
No, I am. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I have to be out here. I get to California, that's 3 p.m.
Wow, we were right on this month, or it didn't happen yet, huh? Right, could have been.
If not, this isn't the board.
Yeah, this is just time to get my argument.
Didn't got dinner tonight,
I
then.
don't know.
Maybe, we'll see.
I did.
Oh, you before? Huh?
I was available and stuff.
Oh, awesome.
I got both the doc
Nice.
and the 2025. Both of them.
Oh, you said you're coming back over, or I'm not gonna be at home.
Safer, not
I'm
safer.
at home.
Yeah, we'll see.
Everybody else goes.
The agenda looks promising, huh?
He never told me that.
Somebody might ask.
People have been
a year later
asking.
Yeah.
When I listen to Marathon.
Yeah, yeah, neither of them. Just in its live streaming
Okay.
and the recording's paused, but I can start it whenever you're ready.
If everybody's ready, it's.
I've got two of. I
I
don't know why computer says two of, so I don't know.
2 more minutes.
Jay's on here, somebody has to say it.
You gonna make Thursday, Justin? Planning commission meeting?
Yes.
I
I thought I emailed that back.
That was nothing.
That I was going.
Oh, I don't know, I didn't look.
Maybe your heart's not.
I mean, I have to be there to nominate you to be the. Chair, yeah.
And they still.
Do you want to be vice chair again?
I will, sure. Yeah, I guess I can vice chair. I ran that last meeting, wasn't much going on since we didn't appoint anybody.
Yeah.
Because we wanted the county to do.
Did you find
We did it for them.
Mhm.
Did you find Hawaii?
Yeah, it was nice. It was so nice. Which island did you go to?
I have great earrings, they're very pretty earrings in Hawaii.
No.
They're nice.
Are they from Johnny's Kitchen? That's good earrings there.
Do they?
Yeah, have you seen them?
No.
Oh,
In Lola. Lola.
just north of you, like 4 miles. Yeah, well, that's what Liz is. It's like, they have a lot like that, kind of like.
I'd like to call the February town of Hector regular audit meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right, before we get started, I just want to let people, it's pretty obvious, our town clerk is not present this evening. She had a medical procedure done and won't be back until I think the 23rd of February. So bear with me because I'm gonna be trying to keep notes and keep us up to date as we go. So it might be a little glitchy as we work our way through this. That being said, the first item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. I'd like to table that until the next meeting because after reviewing the minutes with the clerk, there were a few things that were not included that we want to make sure are included. We do not have any budget amendments or journal entries this time. But we did audits and bills. Anybody have?
I make a motion to approve the bills as audited.
A second.
Mark, second. Okay, we have a first and second to approve the bills as audited. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Anybody opposed? Right. Let's move on to our public comment period. It is 7:02 p.m. Open up the floor. If you do have a comment, please identify yourself and where you live in the town of Hector. Yes, sir.
Timothy Dunlap, I live on Peach Orchard Road. Is that far enough?
Yep.
I have some concerns. I see it's on your list tonight, water district, water main breaks. My concerns tonight, we have supply, we have demand. We have grid. Those are your three basics, whether it be water, roads, or electricity. We seem to be having some major difficulties with the water line on County Route 2. I think there's at least 4, maybe even 5 different breaks. I would note that the county went through there about 2 years ago, prior to the repaving of County Route 2 and dug the ditches. It seemed a little bit over much to me, but I'm not a road person, so what do I know? And the water line runs on the same side as those ditches. I'm wondering if that had any effect on the cover of the water lines where the problems seem to be arising.
We
Alarming rate.
We are going to be addressing this during the water report.
All right. So secondly,
But what I was going to say is maybe you could address that concern specifically when you talk about where we're at and what's going on.
secondly, it deals with the supply concept of my introduction. We're working to get a new water line to Jolly Road and up Middle Road, Blue Goose Road, apparently. I don't know how that's progressive.
That I can answer. I know that was the Burdette South extension. That has been basically stopped for the time being. We need to resolve a water source issue that, namely the well that we've been trying to get on. Until the DEC says we're producing enough water to do an expansion, we won't be doing the expansion. And it has been long enough that we will have to redo the engineering and the bidding process at all aspects of that.
Thank you.
So I think that probably covers your concerns. Do we have enough water? Not according to DEC and Department of Health right now, so we're not.
Well, apparently we had enough water to cover the basic system when it was built in 72 or whatever. Now we're having problems with the upgrade to the Logan Matthews Road. And there was this proposal to extend that water line. So we're lacking in grid.
Yep.
As far as water goes. So I'll wait for the water department.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Anybody online?
I don't see any comments.
All right. There's no other questions or comments. It is 7:05. Gonna close that. Thank you for your questions and comments. And with that being said, we're gonna move on to the sustainability report.
Thank you. First, I wanted to mention the Hector Homegrown campaign. This is a campaign to promote local agricultural producers and vendors. We have a Facebook page. We have signed up basically 19 producers and vendors so far. There are another 6 that I think we'll probably catch when they open in spring. Email hasn't been helpful, but I think we'll get them on board because nobody said no when we've actually approached them face to face. So those people, vendors are Anderson Tree Farm, Burdette Exchange, Finger Lakes Wine Flour, Off Meadow Farm, Hector Hot Peppers, Hunt's Tree Farm, Lily Family Farm, Angus Farm, Mansfield Farm, Meadowlark Farm, Mountain Moor, Muddy Fingers Farm, Flowbreak Farm, Silver Queen, Windsong, Wolf Tree, Vandersea Tree Farm, Vivet Acres and Wickham Tango Oaks. We have a map of our consultant is making it look interesting, but this is just a Google map, so you can sort of see where the little leaves are where all the vendors are. You want to see, take a look. They're pretty widely dispersed.
What's the name of the Facebook page? Is it just Hector Homegrown?
Hector Homegrown. It's just a Facebook page. It doesn't have much on it. Doesn't have anything on it. So we will actually have the map on. We'll have stories of these different vendors, and if it's like I know, Finger Lakes Wine Flour is advertising for Valentine's chocolates. We didn't hit it this year, but next year, you know, that would be a time they could put that on the Facebook page. We'll link it to Hector Has It All. And anyway, are there any questions on that? So it's moving along. I think by spring it will be pretty fully launched. I love May. Hector Watershed Forum, we're planning for the second one. It's going to be held May 20th at the Hector Firehouse. And I have as our speaker the Vice President of Seneca Pure Waters, and he will be talking about harmful algal blooms. This was at the request of the people at the first watershed forum we had. Repair Cafe, we're doing that again this year. Last year we had them on back-to-back weekends. We're going to spread them out this year. So there will be one in Montreux Falls on May 2nd from 10 to 2 at the fire company. And then the Hector one at the Hector Fire Company will be September 26th from 10 to 2. And there's another meeting on Repair Cafes tomorrow, actually. And then finally, Mecklenburg Pollinator Garden. People met last Saturday. I was not there because it was too cold. And they did start planning the garden. There's going to be another meeting held on February 28th. We have a total of $700. $350 came from the Sustainable Finger Lakes, and $350 came from the town Hector that was given to the Sustainability Committee. So hopefully bring some planting in May, June timeframe, and have a little pollinator garden there. Any questions?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Scott, you're on.
We've been pushing back stove banks, unfortunately. Put a new sander chain in one of the trucks. We've been doing maintenance on equipment, getting ready for spring. Cutting trees and brush. Still boom on when it's not so cold and the tractor start. Measured roads for stone and oil. Changed a few plow baits and been plowing and sanding.
Explain the gravel screen that we purchased.
We purchased a gravel screen. It has the one that we have was made 15, 20 years ago.
Tons of gravel has it screened since then.
I can't even imagine. Mountains. So we purchased a new one. Hopefully it holds up. If it does, maybe we can get another one for salt, but we'll try one at a time. We have one that town of Montour gave us that was already scrapped from them. We brought it home and doctored it up, and we've used it for 3 years.
For a salt screen.
Well, we kind of switched them out because the other one was getting so bad that we put the bad one down for salt and took Theirs up that we had rebuilt for
Mhm.
sand and. They're both old, it's just time.
When will the new one arrive?
I talked to them yesterday. I would imagine, I'd be surprised if we don't have it here in the parts in its box by next Monday.
That
Cool.
would be great.
That'd be great, yeah.
How big of it?
12.
12 by 10 by 7 feet high, I believe,
I think that's right.
which is pretty close to the one we have. That was the closest one I could find to the size that we already have. So,
And the other thing on the agenda we have is a road tractor and wheeler.
we've been looking for a road tractor for a year or two now, and Town of Ithaca is getting rid of one. That's pretty good shape. It's only got 67,000 miles on it. We've been looking online, and for 40,000, you're looking at 3, 4, 500,000 miles on them, so. We're kind of shooting for this one. We don't have to go through OGS or bids, or it's municipal to municipal. So,
So there'll be more on this, as we get closer, they put in another one in
we
order.
got one on order. We won't be able to get it till like June, but it's something we went and looked at. They also have a plow truck they're getting rid of. That's a lot better shape than a lot of ours. That instead of 300,000, I'm thinking we probably could get it for 15 or 20.
Full size 10-wheeler?
Full size 10-wheeler plow wings. It's an HX like the one we ordered for this year. It's a heavier model.
Why is it so expensive?
Generally municipals, when they sell, they just don't.
Huh.
Most of the time they figure they're junk, but they got wash bays and they're inside when it's warm. And theirs looks a lot better than even some of our top line trucks.
Nice, well,
And that had 70,000 miles on it. It's the same as what we got. It's just an HX automatic 475. It's got a steel charcoal box, but it's seasonals like we have, but it's steel.
So it's metal spread.
Yeah.
Metal
Yes.
spread.
Yes. So it's something we've been talking about grabbing, maybe applying for another truck, but
They want to sell that right away, or is it gonna wait till spring?
that I believe is up.
We believe it's up, but we can't find it.
No, they didn't put it online. It's not online.
Okay,
They have a truck coming back, and then that one's ready to go.
can we talk to them in the short term?
Yes.
Okay, maybe you and I should.
We can
chat.
take a ride.
Yeah, take a ride.
They're nice people down there.
I mean,
They
they have an aggressive replacement program.
what town was that
The
again?
town of Ithaca.
Town of Ithaca.
Oh, nice. Nice that it's close too.
Yeah.
They swap them in 8 years. But
That must be
they have a
magical.
lot more money than we got.
Mhm. A lot
They
more
And a lot fewer
people,
roads
and
they
a lot
got-
more people, I'm sure, paying the
paying
bills.
for it, yeah, exactly.
They had like 50 miles and 8 miles of sidewalks,
50 miles of road, 8 miles of sidewalk.
and they have more equipment.
Wow.
And
You
it's
should just
all-
tell them we'll take all their
it's all
cast offs.
pre-painted.
Just tell them anytime they're ready to sell something, just call me.
Call us first.
So we're not in a position today to take action on these, but I wanted to get it out for conversation and thought.
I was
We
just,
do have, all of our highway vehicles are purchased through DA. We do have available fund balance that, we can't go crazy, but we do have enough money if we were interested in moving forward with these vehicles, we could do it without impacting significantly.
I would say we should.
They also have a 450 that is coming up in March. It's got 37,000 miles on it. I don't know what that might go for, but It might be something to replace a pickup.
do you want to discuss it at highway?
Yeah.
Committee? And I was just gonna say, is it possible to do highway this week? I won't be available on the 19th.
I could do Thursday.
It's fine with me.
So
Yeah,
the 12th, so that's the 12th. Yeah,
Scott, you said you didn't have price on, estimated price yet, or you
I
did?
don't have an estimated price on the one on the semi, the tractor, they want 40,000 for.
Okay,
The other trucks, I'm just looking on, Auctions Unlimited, what they're going for. And
Yeah, in particular, the road tractor, I've been looking for years for one, and like Scott said, you can find one in the 30 to 40,000 range, and they tend to be 20 years old with 400,000 miles on them.
right.
If not a million miles. And then if you get one that has 50, 60,000, they're well over $100,000.
Road tractor, is that one of the wheel weights on one side you do with the boom?
No, a
No,
road
road
tractor.
tractor for our low boy to move equipment around.
Okay,
Yeah,
I just hadn't heard of it before, so.
the front of the tractor trailer.
Yeah.
We got a 91 with 1,000,000 miles on it. And
Right.
you can see the seat from the back of it. You can see the driver's seat. It's getting a little tapered.
you're saying it's rusty enough you can see the
Yeah.
seat through the back wall.
Yeah, you want to be careful when you grab the handle to get up in there. You might end up with it. It's run its course. They got their money. I think they paid 9 for it. I think they paid 9 for it.
I think it was that Schweitzer's truck.
It was Ed's truck. God, Ed's been gone for.
Don't mention that.
Yeah, a long time.
So more to come on this, but I wanted to get it, everybody thinking about it.
If you guys schedule a date to go look, reach out to me and see
Okay.
if I can go.
Yeah, sure.
That sounds good. There's anything else for Scott?
God, please say thanks for all the plowing they've done in really cold weather. I mean, crews worked hard. I'm sure it's been extremely unpleasant outside.
Well, last weekend we didn't put any grit down because we couldn't get it out of the boxes.
It was frozen in once you
It freeze, especially if you had to drive very far.
Wow.
So Monday morning, we started putting stuff down. And trying to
Wow.
keep people. We mostly just plowed this week. It was
Yeah.
too cold.
It
And
was-
salt don't work very good at 0 anyway.
No,
It was
I was gonna
gross.
say when it's really cold, the snow's not as slippery as it is at 32.
No.
So. All right, we'll see you Thursday.
All right,
Thursday
thank you.
noon, right?
Thursday at noon.
Okay.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, we will move on to the water department. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
So the month of January pumped 57 or 5.7 million gallons. An average of 190,000 a day. That's up considerably from the weeks that we've had and been dealing with. Water testing, all current draws are up to date. To the sample schedule. Monthly reports are sent also to DOH and DEC. Water service turn-ons 0, offs 1. Backup generators, water plant generator is currently down. Gotta have them come out and take a look at it. And water compressors, bolter maintenance still trying to get one. Paul skid was all in good working order, just cleaned today. The filters were. Service trucks are both in good working order. Meter reading system is working great. Few not reading to wires and miscellaneous stuff. Lead and copper samples, 10 samples are scheduled for testing before June. Water services, new service for new home. Leighton Frost, now waiting to hear back from scheduled time from RB Robertson. Water main repair, RB Robertson's contractor that was coming out to fix the lines at Gunner 2 where we've had repeated issues with. What they're gonna do is gonna be the permanent fix. The repairs that we did last week, one could be permanent, but the new Band-Aid that we put on there is new enough to where I don't really know if it's gonna last forever. So they have a different setup they wanna do. And Tuesday or Wednesday, we're gonna be digging both of those up at the same time. And just get it all taken care of.
And
Now, is it the same place, same general spot
About half mile.
near that, oh.
where the cones are.
Right, I always
The two
see that
sections
spot
of
where there's
cones are-
cones, where's the other
The
side?
other ones would probably ditch.
Yeah, they've fallen over.
Yeah.
They're like tipped with the ditch.
It didn't hit them, the snow pushed them.
Can you explain that, that how these are fused and what they are actually gonna be doing?
So Tim was wondering about the ditching and everything. The water mains are still at least 5 foot below the bottom of the ditch. The upper one, or the lower one is deeper than that.
Yeah.
And what I think happened as a general assessment is when they fuse those lines and they heat them up and it's plastic welding. The first one above the water tower, when we first unearthed that and found that where it's leaking right at the fusion, is the bead of plastic that was probably a ½ inch tall. Now there's one 3 foot down further because they just fused a couple stubs right there. The other bead of plastic weld was only maybe an 1/8 inch to a 1/4 inch. So I think somebody wasn't paying attention, they got it too hot and just slammed it together. The other issue could be is obviously the pipe is rated for it, but it's 230 PSI there. And if there's any kind of pinhole, and what we experienced from our repairs is any water washes down the water main, that pipe can settle now and retract. Because when we did the first time, there's just we had to cut the section out because it'd be a plastic wall, so tall Band-Aid, we figured wouldn't work. So we put a Band-Aid on it from that pipe settling and all that pressure from the water, it slid back about 3 or 4 inches. So we tried to do the best we could and double them up. And that helped for quite a while. The upper one, the upper break, that was not blown apart as bad, and the fusion weld wasn't as high on that one. So we put Band-Aid right over it. But when we unearthed it last week, it came apart completely after the Band-Aid was on there. So there's either it wasn't clean or it was too hot when it was fused.
And just so we know, the repair that we're bringing in the specialty company to is actually we're taking new piece and fusing it in there the way.
As far as I know, it's gonna be totally different but with the demand issue, obviously we've had some leaks. We got a leak in Burdette that we're gonna have to get fixed pretty soon too. And leak detection came out and with the ground lights and everything and pinpointed that on Main Street. And that's probably been leaking for a long time, and I think it was just a gradual thing where house service tapping probably came apart, at least Josh said that's what it sounded like in the microphone. It sounded like something flattening against the water.
And that replacing is as we coordinate DOT, correct?
Yes. Yep. But the lake is still way down. The lake is still really low. Our infiltration gallery, so we have 2 available wells and the infiltration gallery. And the infiltration gallery is like a reverse septic system. It's got fingers that go into the ground underneath the lake. So the level in that infiltration gallery goes all by the depth of the lake. When it's this low, usually if the infiltration gallery is reading about 6 foot, we can pull 200 gallons a minute off of that. Right now, it's hovering around between 1 foot and 2 foot. So as we can control the hertz on that pump, if we ramp it up too much of a demand, it trips out. We get an alarm call. We have to call it in and resets it. So we got that's dialed down to I want to say it's below 20%. Usually that's running at around 50 to 60.
I mean, that's because the water gets low enough to worry about the valve burning.
So
bring the pump out.
It has leach lines that go out underneath the lake. And so the level lake is the same as in that tank. So when the lake is down, that tank is down.
Mm-hmm.
And because in other years, since I've been there, we've drawn almost 180 gallons a minute off of that.
Right now, what are we able to
And
draw?
right now we're right I'm not sure what the gallons per minute are, but the percentage of the pump working to get that is probably around 60%. We're down below 20% on the pump right now, so. Yeah, and if we're able to pump the water, we keep up better, but we can't pump enough water. So,
There's no option to try to reset the volume. Is there anything you can do for the current system?
but you know, even if the new well was hooked up, it'd be tough to gain on that. The best option is an intake out to the lake, which would be 90 feet deep, and then you're unlimited. But if you were to revamp that infiltration gallery, I don't think DEC would ever allow it. Ours was probably the last one approved in the interstate. That's something that they frown on now.
When the infiltration gallery was installed, it was not designed with low lake levels.
Right.
It wasn't really taken into consideration.
Yeah, it was
The lake you can't do much about.
yeah. And I mean, these past few years, we've had unseasonably dry years. And this year, this is the lowest that I've ever seen a lake, and I've talked to numerous people, and I've never seen it this low.
The demand on the water system is never gonna go decrease.
Correct.
No, it won't.
Yeah.
You're saying these wells that were insufficient in your judgment? That was on the original line? To the tank up above Logan?
I'm not sure what for how many customers the original system was designed for at the time.
The second, not the original. There's three O's systems. There's
Well,
the original, which is 72 area, then there's the extension
up on Logan,
up to Logan.
that's when the infiltration gallery is installed. So if the lake was up, it would definitely meet the demand.
And the welding was not done apparently correctly up to the Logan tank.
I would dare say either the welds were not clean, like where they heated up and they pushed together.
Okay,
Bond.
I got it.
I think it wasn't clean, or they got it too hot. They're dilly-dallying and just,
We're stuck with it.
yes.
How long do you think your best estimate of your experience before we see any relief on that?
For,
As far as the increased volume with the lake level, I mean, I know you can't.
it all depends on the weather. How much
Yeah,
rain we
depends on how much snow we have.
Yeah, hopefully this rain, and we get plenty of rain, not too much rain.
But certainly fixing the leaks is gonna help because we're gonna
Oh,
stop
yes,
losing
yes,
it.
yes, yeah, I mean, you know, when we get these leaks buttoned up and everything. And Logan system from carrier 2 and above. And 13 hours after those leaks are fixed, they might drop maybe 3/10. And probably 14 hours, 3/10 of a foot. So I mean, that's a huge compared to 60,000 a day that we're trying to push up there. Barely maintain it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this week things will turn around for you guys.
Yeah.
Maybe a little less stressful. What day did you say they're coming again? That's RB.
Will be it's either gonna be Tuesday or Wednesday. Scheduled, we only have two crews going.
You mean next week?
Yes.
Yes,
so-
actually.
So until then, it's a boil water advisory for the whole system,
No, not for the whole
or
system,
just Logan?
just for the upper system.
It's Route 2,
Route 2 above
Route 4 to Matthews, and Bassett.
Bassett, yes.
Okay. Mhm.
I'll contact you this week, because I'd like to get the tour.
Yeah.
See what we can work out. So I have a better understanding. What
Yes. I agree.
Excellent, thank you.
Maybe you can help Tuesday.
Do what?
Help Tuesday.
I can't well, so.
I didn't know they had a leak in Interlaken on Saturday. As right out in front of Josh's house.
Yeah.
He sent me a video, Justin Reed that helps us with COVID. And we all know how cold it was Saturday. And it
Yeah,
was-
what the
it
heck?
was so
Oh, that's terrible.
that was a circular break on 6-inch gas. So
Well, is it the cold weather exacerbating it, or is it just it could have, I mean, I don't know about anything like it, but it could happen for us anyway, because the wells weren't, or the Band-Aids weren't holding.
Both Conner two's brakes were in warm weather. This,
Yeah.
what we're dealing right now is just the proper repair.
It's just the timing, it happens to also be very cold right now.
And we're not equipped to fuse, so that's why we're having, one of the reasons why we're having the temperature. So.
Oh, well,
If the other possibility in the future is elevation valves to be installed at there to help with the pressure. Because and
They're like pressure to step down valves. What's an elevation valve?
an elevation valve is a pressure reducing valve, but you can push water through it uphill. So after, it's almost like a butterfly valve.
Like a one-way valve, sort of.
Yes, no, but so say if the demand for Bassett Road comes from County Road 2, but we have to push water up through that, it will, once it gets to a certain point, it'll allow water to come back down and go down Bassett Road. So, and they're not cheap. They're a fairly complicated valve, but I'm sure they avoided on cost when they initially put that system in, because I've talked to other water operators from around the area, and they have no idea how it got approved to have over 200 PSI at the bottom. You know, that's not safe to work around, and you're gonna have issues down the road. But ideally, 2 of those elevation valves on County 2 would be very practical. It'd help a lot, because I'm sure, you know, who knows what nightmares will come from it in the future.
There was a question online what the process was and cost of buying water to fill the upper tank. We acted as this being an emergency because the upper water tank on picnic area was essentially empty. And we purchased water from the old water system, and the total was
I did get the totals.
we had the total it was
I think the bill's like around 3,000.
yeah, around $3,000, and that was 25,000 gallons of water, correct?
I think it's more than that.
Mhm.
I think it's, because the goal was to get at least 40.
Okay.
40% filled.
40,000.
40,000. So it's approximately $3,000, which was correct. And then at this time, we're hoping to be able to gain on it and not need to put more water in, but in May.
As I said, with these, you know, as of right now, there's no leaks on the upper system. It'll drop maybe 3/10 from now until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, 3/10 of a foot. So, I mean, once we get water up there, it'll hold. So.
Once again, this would be a good time to remind people that they can register on the town website, although I'm getting some feedback that we didn't get a push notification about the water issue. We'll also be posting online and on the town website the area of the boil water advisory and the area of the conserve water advisory. We'll continue to be updating that as and the town Facebook page. But if you're not on Facebook, you can check the town website. It's listed on the town website. You can call the town hall. We will be doing our best to keep all of those channels updated. Tim, do you have one more question about the water specifically?
I just propose that one of the board members make a moratorium motion to avoid any future expansions of Hector Water District whatsoever until we get this problem resolved. We've got enough on our plate dealing with this, infiltration galleries, the repairs, the substandard contract on the existing second expansion, let alone getting into anything new.
There's nothing in the works right now.
Let's make that permanent.
Well, until the Department of Health changes their mind, it is essentially perfect. We can't move forward with any plans until we meet their expectations.
Yeah, we can't just go ahead and do anything like that. That has the DEC has to be involved.
That's what stopped the initial plan to do what we were calling South Burdette was DEC.
Good. Thank you. For the explanation.
All right, thank you, Jeremy, for your time tonight. Have a good work. Okay, let's move on to code.
Thanks, Jeremy. Take care. You too.
For January, we issued 16 zoning permits and closed out 2. The permits issued for a variety, one deck, one electric upgrade, one miscellaneous repair, one renovation, one shed, and complete one fire inspection. Issued building permit construction value was just over $182,000. Completed permit construction value was just over $428,000. The collected fees were $1,279.50. I am gonna pop in to our committee meeting. I'm working on some updates to the fee schedule, so I'd like to just kind of sound off on that, but that'll be sometime in March. So I plan to approach the board in April with some fee schedule updates. Next item on my list is I did get 3 quotes on new vehicles. They were they're the last few 2025s are on are still available at some decent reductions in price. The lowest quote was from Simmons Rockwell for $37,196.50. We're looking at if we sell the existing Jeep now, we're looking at right around $30,000 to $31,000 that we would obtain for that. I did want to just get the approach the board with this is the 2025s are shrink, the inventory of those is shrinking. If we wanted to hold off until later, the 2026s right now are ballpark from 43 to 46,000. So it is a decent. This quote is on a brand new 2025.
This vehicle, we budgeted 45,000 for it, so you have the possibility of significant savings.
One of our goals is to keep rotating this vehicle so it's always under warranty.
Do you need approval? We need a resolution to approve Jason.
I'd make a motion to approve Jason's vehicle purchase from Simon's Rock.
First and second. And the dollar amount is $37,196.50. We have a first and a second to authorize the purchase of this vehicle. Any questions or comments?
Just a point of clarity, the vehicle that you're driving right now, you think we can get between 30 and 31? Or
Somewhere in that,
that was
upper 20s to low 30s. So
Yeah,
where it's
Jason provided the price today and say 31,000. So we'll put it on Auctions International. We have had decent luck with that.
I talked about a few ideas to get word out to, like going it out front and having like a check Auctions International. This vehicle's up. Could even put a blurb on the Facebook page. But I think we should get a decent amount out of it if we get word out, especially because it's a good vehicle. It's approaching the end of the warranty cycle, and
We also put it on our text email.
Yeah.
We email or text the people who've signed up on the town's website.
Yeah, they'll have to purchase it through.
Yeah, but I mean,
we
we could say we've listed this vehicle.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. There's only one, right?
No, there's 3.
There's 3 on the table. I just.
I saw them on the email.
All right. There's no further questions. All in favor of authorizing Jason purchasing?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? And one more item on there.
Justin and I met with, the village of Burdett, so I think we're finally got the intermunicipal agreement ironed out with the village of Burdett. They have, we provided them with, the draft that Rob had prepared, and they're planning to review it with
Their board next week at their board meeting, and then we would have it for the March meeting.
So as soon as we get their take on it, we can forward it out to the full board for review to vote on. But I think it is doable at this point, and it's a village within the town, so it's not. I think it makes sense at this point.
And the other thing was the shared service agreement with the village of Palmer Heights expiring. So
March 1st.
March 1st, so that'll be off the table.
When you guys are, you're done.
Yeah, with the support that, I want to continue to keep a relationship going. I think that their new code officer, has got a lot of strengths, but as far as needing us to review plans and things, that'll be.
He'll have all certification.
Yeah, I think. He takes his test tomorrow, so hopefully all that goes well, and he will be able to sign off on plans moving forward. Yeah, so I think it worked out well, and it helps build those relationships.
That's great.
So hopefully we have Burdett all resolved for you guys to look at soon, and we can move forward on that one. That's all I have.
Any other questions for Jason? Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, everyone. Have a nice night.
Park.
Okay. Seasonal, so far I have 13 returning. Total I have 26 seasonal spots, so that kind of splits me right in the middle. I have collected 14,090 so far from them. We are filling up with transients as well. Transients were open and available to book on January 12th. And then so far revenue the 17.5 is as of Friday. As of today, I'm at 18,265. So that's where we're at with that. I just want to put out there that we are open for NASCAR weekend and Mother's Day weekend. So I did put a post out on Facebook the other day for that, just to kind of spread the word.
Is that new? We've not
They
done that.
moved it.
They moved NASCAR.
They moved NASCAR, so it's a lot earlier in the year.
Yeah, so they're opening earlier for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't remember it ever being that early.
No, it's usually like June,
No, it's coming.
July, August, excuse me.
It's the second of August.
We don't usually open for camping till Memorial Day.
Right,
Are
well,
we
May
opening
1st.
early and then reclosing and opening again, or we're just gonna open?
No,
early?
We've been opening about May 15th
this year, as far as I know. it's
this
May
year,
1st.
but like last
Yeah.
year we were May 15th,
Yeah.
so we are doing a couple weeks earlier.
Yeah,
That's
just
cool. Makes sense. Have you had bookings for that weekend?
not so much that I've noticed so far, but it is still pretty early.
What is, can you cross promote that with the Watkins Glenn's, like
Like the
Facebook page? Do they have, are there groups up there? Have you looked at that?
I probably could, yeah. I don't see why I wouldn't be able to.
There's people
Like
that
everything
freeze up.
Watkins Glen,
Everything Watkins Glen would be
and then
good.
Hector maybe.
Yeah, I think you should do a couple more posts because we do have a regular group that traditionally camps at Smith Park for the races.
Right.
So I'd like to believe that if they decide to come for the,
Bring your winter jacket.
yeah, they would keep us in mind, even though it's May.
Yeah, maybe not quite
I
as
mean, it's
much
not
in
gonna-
August.
Wherever they're camping, not gonna be warm, or it might not be warm, so it's not like we're in.
Have firewood available.
Yeah.
Yes, make sure there's a lot of firewood
Yeah.
available, that's a good.
Maybe a free bundle of firewood to every camper that weekend.
Oh,
Catch a roll from the pile.
Next day, we have a group coming in, September. Pretty big group. It's 50 to 60 people with probably 25 to 35 electric, non-electric sites. I have 27 sites booked so far. What I did for them was I had basically put an admin hold on all of the sites in the campground for that time period. And then they were calling me and I was booking them as I was taking the calls so that I could make sure that they all. And then do whatever's left that I have on an admin hold for those days. After February 15th, I'll be releasing those for the general public. So we'll have that.
Had you worked with this group?
No, this is a brand new group. I personally never dealt with them. Susan McNeil is the name of the event coordinator, and she seems like a great, person to deal with. I haven't had any issues so far with them. So,
just to make it clear, it's an owner group of teardrop trailers, and they travel annually and have these gatherings. And they approached Smith Park looking for it, and I feel like Smith Park's actually a really good location for a teardrop.
And just as a note, the organizer's not making any money, she's spending her money.
So basically what I need to do is approve, in the packet, I don't know if I got.
We got the full.
Okay, so proposal 1 is kind of what we had agreed on in committee.
They're asking for like one free campsite or some kind of different.
One free campsite for the director and free firewood.
Because she's bringing 25 or 30 campers in. Okay, just catching up on that stuff.
Yep.
I don't know, it's generally, and the time is generally pretty dead, right after Labor Day.
Yeah, I think it would be
So
great.
it's kind of, there's no sites looking out, it's everything.
Yeah.
That week.
And the committee felt like that was okay. I see a couple offer, there's offer 1, offer 2, offer 3, so I didn't know.
The offer 1 was the one that the committee.
Okay.
That's an option.
So I would need approval for Susan to have the one no charge lakefront premium electric site near the main bathrooms. From Friday, September 11th to Sunday, September 20th. On the actual board report, I did break down the dollar amount as to what that would come to as a total cost, which would be $555. So that just would need to be waived so that she can have that site.
We need to do this by resolution because it is financial decision.
And you have the capacity to do that within your reservation programs.
Yeah, so far I've done.
27 campsites.
Yep.
No, but I mean the giving away of this, the comping. I make a motion to give the superintendent. Well, that's
Actually, we can authorize the park manager to waive site.
Okay, thank you. I'm like, I don't know who I'm giving permission, but I want to do it. I also make a motion to authorize the Smith Park manager permission to comp 1 camping site for the organizer, Susan McNeil, of the Tab Trailer event from September 11th to September 20th, 2025.
126.
126 for the amount of $555.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Are there some additional questions?
Was this the first year for the teardrop?
Yes,
Okay, so
for this specific group.
so this 555 is a small investment for potentially down the road every year. Say,
Do they come to the same?
Small investment considering we.
that's what I'm
That
saying.
27 campsites still
Investment
normally.
opportunities there.
Yes.
But do they tend to go to the same place or do they go somewhere new every
They
year?
kind of mix it up a little bit, but she says, depending on the feedback and the experience, they can come and go to the same spot more than once, many times.
Cool.
So once they kind of get the likes of a specific, campground, they kind of go from this campground, this campground.
They have
that
like 4 or
campground.
5.
Right. They kind of rotate around.
Cool, that's great.
Personally, when we talked about it in the video, I was, are they really gonna act? And as soon as she notified them that it was available and they could call and make a reservation, so their phone started ringing off the hook.
Oh my goodness, it was a lot.
It was nice to see that it, you know, that the woman wasn't pulling our leg or wasn't exaggerating,
Nice.
but there was a lot of interest in.
Seems to
He
be
was gonna
well.
reach out and give the woman like sort of reminder that
Yep.
it's closed to the public until the 15th, and then after that, people will still be able to make reservations, but it's not, you know, somebody, it's not guaranteed just for them anymore.
Yeah. Cool. That's great.
It's a good fit for Smith Park.
I think so.
Yeah, because they're small campers.
Yeah, the size and the nature of the camper is great for Smith Park.
Yeah. And the people too that I talked to on the phone, because I talked to just about everybody that's made a reservation. They all seem great, happy and excited. So I think it'll be a great benefit for park this year.
Cool.
Nice.
All right, all in favor of authorizing the
So I.
aye. Everybody's an aye, all right. Any other questions for our park manager while she's here?
Maybe just on the top of the report, you've got 13 of the 26 seasonal.
Yep.
And what is that lower than you had in past years, or what's that? I know you're dealing a lot with
Last year it wasn't quite that many.
it's a little bit better for this time.
But yeah.
I feel like it's a little hard to answer because we've changed.
We didn't
So-
change it though.
No, but I just feel like in the last few years, we've changed something that we. I don't know. I feel like we haven't quite equilibrium.
I just-
I don't know.
As soon as the snow melts, people start to bring the fall again. First few sunny days.
All right.
I feel like maybe this time I probably had maybe a couple more returnees, but I mean, there isn't really much I can do about that. So I've been calling down the wait list and working off of that, and then I pretty much now I'm kind of waiting to hear back from the people that did say, yeah, let me talk to my wife or my husband and let me get back to you and that kind of thing. So little in limbo right now, kind of waiting for phone calls to come back into me to give me final yeses. But in the works.
Should have done that Saturday.
Yeah.
With a live video.
Not live.
Yeah.
Like a recorded video stream of
From the summer.
August.
Is the boat launch currently open or closed?
Boat launch road is currently closed. It does not get plowed or anything. I was curious, I probably should say something about the main road, Park Ave from 414 down into the park. That does not get plowed. There's a bazillion tracks down the road, and I don't know how they're doing it without slipping into anything or ending up in the ditch. But you gotta use the Peach Orchard entrance to get down into the park this time of year, because
They don't have park.
no,
It's on Smith Park.
excuse me, on Smith Park Road, yes, they don't plow that.
Because there's no residency on that road.
Well, it's
There's a
hard to
seasonal
see.
sign at the top.
I never noticed that. Wow. Well,
So if somebody slides off the road, tell them
It's their problem.
it's their problem, it's not the town problem.
The boat launch road that will potentially reopen based on
Weather.
when the
Yeah.
snowstorm was forecasted, she went and closed it. We have had it open and shut a couple times, but the snow hasn't gone anywhere this snowstorm, so it's still closed.
It's kind of stuck right now.
I will say, there have been a couple of requests from, I was gonna bring this up at the park committee, but it's relevant. Had a couple people ask why we can't just plow, on Smith Park Road. And my feeling is that if we do that, and then the people that always ask for us to do some of the roads in the national forest in winter so they can walk their dogs and access things easier, and expect those to be, seasonal. There's a reason why they're seasonal roads.
also there's no houses. I mean, there's no residents.
There's no residences, there's no,
Campground's closed.
yep, yep.
Is the boat launch available for big fire service?
If they needed to get down there, yes,
You can do that. No.
that's a good question.
They have a key. They're like,
We
if they
should
have
make sure they have to keep.
an emergency.
As far as I know.
Well, right now, I can't really lock the gate with a lock and key because it's bent. So
What?
the gate's bent.
Oh, yeah, highway.
When they were there to fix that electrical ditch or whatever, they demolished my one side of the gate, so I can't efficiently lock it. I've got a rope.
Summer detention on
See, it's
Thursday.
blocked off and if
It is marked off and there's a cone in
through.
front of it, so if I need to get through it, I can throw the cone out of the way and untie the rope.
But
Or
again,
cut it.
if somebody tried that on their own, they'd be on their own if they got into the
Right.
lane. Cause it's not an open road.
Right.
Right.
Just worries me, because you drive by and you kind of look down and there's tracks going on like this down into it and everything, and it's like, oh my goodness, I don't know.
That's pretty standard.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, thank you guys.
Thanks, Valerie.
I'll talk to you Thursday.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to read town clerk's monthly report. 42 dog licenses sold. 2 marriage certificates, 2 death birth certificates, 3, excuse me, and 12 building permits for $1,279.50. $474 paid to the general fund. $1,329.50 was paid to the supervisor, and $82 was paid to the New York State Animal Control Fund. At this time, she has prepared a water report, so we're gonna look at, and that is what I have for a report. And then she has asked to get authorization to attend a clerks conference in Albany from April 19th to the 22nd. She'll need to approval to attend the conference and for 3 nights of lodging.
I make a motion to approve the town clerk to attend clerks conference in April 19th to 22nd in Albany, New York, with including 3 days of lodging.
Second.
First, second.
Aye.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Tax collection going okay?
Tax collection's going okay. We didn't get that sorted out as far as the report, but they're
That's fine.
are moving forward, and once the bills got delivered, there's been a steady flow of money.
I never got mine.
At all.
No, I mean, I came here and got it.
It's free this year.
That's
But
interesting, because there was a delay, but once they finally went out, most people, there's always a handful of people that don't get anything.
Wait, you didn't get it mailed, but it was here at the town hall?
they have like a printout. I mean, I came for a meeting and I was like, they said online that they can print it for you. So I was like, can you give me my tax bill? And they're like, yeah, here you go. But I'm curious how many people, if there's gonna be a lot of people in the same situation who come in and say, I never got my tax bill.
There's always some that come in, don't have tax bill. There's some that are misaddressed. There's a pile over there that have no name, they just have addresses. Or there's a name with no address on the bill, that's whatever the county has on file doesn't always line up with.
Like an actual building with a person.
Yeah. And well, yeah, there's always a post office issue too, but those ones that don't have, that show up here with no name or no address and just a name, that's not the post office, so that's the county.
I was saying another.
Yeah, there's 3 levels there, and then the company that creates the bills, I'm sure, has a certain percentage
that
there.
Not unusual, but that happens.
That happens every year that I've been a part of it. There's always some that
We have enough help in the office that they're keeping up.
seem to be pretty good. Diane Farrell, who worked
Carl,
speaking, who has helped us the last few years. He did it for more hours than she has
that's
the
good.
last few years, and I'd say things are going reasonably smooth, considering that there's a dramatic learning curve for the new town clerk. That it's a lot to be thrown in day one here, collecting tax money with no training program, et cetera.
Well, lucky for her this year, nobody had their tax bill yet, so maybe it wasn't day one. Maybe she got a couple of days.
Fair.
We'll see how it all turns out in the end.
Yeah, well.
All right, so the first thing under my file is, as the board knows, the existing attorney for the town, Rob Halpin, was elected and taking the seat in the Schuyler County Legislature. He is finishing out a number of open projects, but with him being in the Schuyler County Legislature, it throws some issues of conflict of interest. And so I have been hunting for a new law firm. Two other lawyers that I spoke with about the possibility of representing the town, both directed me toward Miller and Meyer. I met with them. I think it could be an interesting fix. They're not heavy, they do not have heavy representation of municipalities, but they do a lot of work with municipal organizations, fire companies, libraries, so they're involved in the municipal business. Our primary contact there would be a lawyer by the name of Jessica Barr. Her hourly rate is $300 an hour. However, since they are a sizable law firm, if we got ourselves into something that required additional legal assistance, their partners would become available to us at a rate of $400 an hour.
What was the rate?
300. They have asked that we sign a retainer agreement, which I have emailed to all of you, and I also printed out 3 copies on the table if there was any questions. Having met with them, Jessica in particular seemed enthusiastic and interested in working and doing this, but there was also the realization that this is a 1-year agreement, will be in effect from essentially today through January 31st, because we reappoint the attorney for the town each year. And so we're not, hopefully this will be a successful relationship, but if it's not, we're not tied to it forever. I have spoken to Rob about it, and he is happy to coordinate when and if need be any information he has about any ongoing issues that the town has, and work in coordination with them. So that's where we stand.
Comparable rates to where Rob is.
Rob was 200.
So it's significantly more.
Yeah, it's more, but
Also, it did say that sometimes you have legalists, just something like paralegal or
yeah.
it didn't say that word exactly, but $150 an hour. It sounds like if they're just doing like research and I mean they're
Yeah, no, I read the
Yeah.
the online version.
The general question is Rob privy to this information?
Yes.
So he's read through it, looks one legal versus another.
Yep.
my
I actually, when at
It
the end,
looks pretty standard.
it is, that's what they said, this is a standard, and they said some of the documentation is required by the state. If you go into a retainer, certain pages of that are just,
It's all
standardized. I did sit down and meet with Rob, and that's when we had the conversation, because when we, in upstate New York, and we were dealing with people that specialize in municipal or willing to work with municipal organizations, there really aren't that many. I have one.
So you need a motion.
I need,
to
yeah, motion to
So I'll make-
authorize, well, we need to make a motion to appoint Jessica
Okay, well, I'll make a motion to appoint Jessica Barr as the town.
Barr, excuse me, yes,
Um,
attorney for the town.
attorney for the town,
From February 10th through the 31st
yes.
at a rate of $300 an hour.
I second.
Okay. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none,
Aye.
all in favor?
Aye.
And then I would like a resolution to authorize me to sign the.
Yeah, so I'll make a motion for the town board supervisor to sign the contract with Miller Mayor Law Firm.
I second the motion.
For 1 year minus a month.
Well, I'll write it.
Yeah, okay.
I still second the motion.
I'm not sure if we have to do a separate one since we're appointing them as our attorney, but when in doubt, pass a resolution.
Can't hurt.
Yep.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you very much on this. Next thing,
What is in the back?
the town reval. There's been a lot of conversation about this. Some people think we canceled the revaluation. We did not cancel it. We pushed it back 1 year because last year the proper actions did not take place in the rural property office. Now we're moving forward so that during 2027, it will start in 2026, but it'll actually be considered a 2027 reval. And they have asked that we pass a resolution proceed, that the town of Hector wants to proceed with the full reval for 2027.
I'll make that motion.
I will second that motion.
They're doing this because in the past, one of the things we've expressed is the lack of communication, and also our assessor is very concerned that we're making sure we do everything right so that if, you know, the state wants to see this, we have it to give to them, we're not chasing it. So that's why we're passing this. So we have Mike, Liz.
And then wait till all people get the revaluation and then it won't want a revaluation.
I second that move.
There's no further questions. We have a person.
So it starts in 26.
They're starting.
It'll spill over to 27.
They'll be doing some preliminary work in 26, but it'll be considered 27.
So they're not actually starting to look at properties until 27.
No, they'll be looking at it.
They'll be working on the properties.
Okay.
They just won't be completed in
It just won't be-
26.
So call it 27 because that's when they'll get through everything. Okay.
Everything will be done, filed with the state, etc.
Okay.
So it'll probably be ready for the tax roll in 2027
Okay.
or 8.
28, maybe, yeah.
What's that?
We won't have to engage the lawyer if we do this now.
Correct.
Aye.
Hey, all in favor?
Also,
Aye. Now, with this being said, in an effort to get as much information out there as possible, and I sent an email around, I'd like to pick a week in March that we could address. The state would like to come down. It'll have to be a public meeting open to everybody, but this one will be the state presenting to us as a board saying, this is what we're doing, this is how we're doing it, this is why we're doing it, ask questions. And then the state would also, we've asked, and the state is willing to do, have a public meeting in May, potentially, May or June, that would be open to the general public, where the general public can get in front of the state assessors and ask questions about how the process will work.
right?
Because, you know, one of the issues and concerns we've had is communications with the assessor's office, so this is what we're trying to do to address it. So first one would be if we pick a week in March, I can go back to her and say sometime the week of March 23rd, let's say. I'm not saying advocating that. We would be available for them to come and present to us.
So present to us, the board, however, the public could come and hear it.
Well, it'll be, because the full board is here, it has to be a public meeting. But this will not be the time where the public is asking questions. This will be for us. They'll have a presentation for the board members explaining how the process will work,
Yeah,
how the state interacts with our assessor, what kinds of information we can expect. And then, like I said, we will also have one where the state representatives will address the public. Well, I'm assuming maybe we would want to get one of the fire halls for that, so that
yeah.
so that anybody in the public can come and have hopefully many of their questions answered.
For the town board one, is that a 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. kind of thing, or?
You know, I don't have that answer. She just said they want to come in March, so I was thinking, well, because all of us are pick a week and then we can go back and say which day in that week would work, or if there's a week that is better for people than not. Want to do that? All of March.
That's my change.
Okay.
So I'll have to let you know.
I'm out of town like the 21st of March. So if it's like, you know, the 24th onward or the week before like the Thursday, I can do it, but I'm gonna be out of town.
Gotcha.
Do we want to aim for like the second week of March?
But that's when our audit meeting.
Yeah, we already have that on meeting that week.
Okay, planning for like the third week of March?
If we could do like 17, 18, 19, I mean,
Not 16,
16 would work.
16 through 19.
That would be doable.
Well,
Well, I mean, I think yes, we also just send an email just to double check before you call, I mean,
what I'm gonna do is I'll reach out to the assessor and say the week of the 16th to the 19th would be ideal.
mhm.
That's the one that has the most board availability. And then the state,
You good for the 19th?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
okay,
I believe I can do any day that week, but I was just gonna double check.
I will
I'd
be,
rather lean towards the beginning of the
Okay.
cutoff, so. I'll make.
I will say earlier better.
I believe.
I wanted, they said giving me a date and I figured a range would be better because
Yeah.
they have other obligations also, not just us.
They come in person or?
They will
we
come in
have to-
person.
Huh.
And both meetings, they will come in,
They come for a moment or?
Yep. Or maybe they have a local office someplace closer, but they're offering this, so I think we should take advantage
So
of
they're
it.
actually driving down from Albany, they probably went around midday,
We'll see.
right? I think we should schedule for 6 in the morning.
I'm thinking like 10 at night. Make it work.
So, and then like I said, after this, we will have an opportunity for public to meet with them. And we'll get one of the fire halls, because I would imagine it'll be a big turnout for that.
And whatever day we do schedule, this room has the immaculate occupancy, so if people show up and fill the room, then nobody else will be able to come
Can
in.
we stream the meeting so people could watch it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right, it will be straight, but I'm saying is if people flood the town hall, they don't hear the assessor, it'll be limited to whoever can fit in there.
Yeah, whereas the next one where they're actually here to talk to the public,
Yes.
will be in a bigger venue. And the next item on here, the Heidelberg property. We had entered into a purchase agreement to purchase the former DeWitt or Heidelberg property just down the road here. As part of the agreement, we conducted a phase 1 environmental review. The phase 1 environmental review moved forward and recommended that we have a limited phase 2 environmental review. Any environmental review was essentially we had to have the property owner's approval. The limited review was going to be 14 holes being drilled in around a couple of suspect sites on the property to check for soil pollution and water pollution. The owners of the property have chosen not to provide us permission to do so. And I think we've all discussed this at length. If we cannot get the appropriate or the recommended environmental reviews completed, that the town board is uncomfortable with moving forward with the purchase of the property.
I think it's important to add that was like the legal counsel would not, they would sign a letter saying, I want nothing to do with this, basically, if we can take this off, this action as well.
So as part of that, want to on record, pass a resolution, which will be terminating our purchase offer. And I'm gonna read that because it's a long, wordy resolution. Whereas Heidelberg Materials owns 2 parcels of property in the town of Hector totaling approximately 115 acres in size, collectively known as the property. And whereas the town of Hector, the town, has entered into a contract to purchase the property dated October 23rd, 2025. And whereas the contract provides the town an opportunity to perform due diligence with respect to the property and terminate the contract if the town is not satisfied with the results of such diligence. And whereas as part of such diligence, the town has caused to be performed a phase 1 environmental site assessment on the property. And whereas the report of the phase 1 indicates that there are several recognized environmental conditions at the property and recommends further investigations of the property to discover the nature and extent of the contamination of the property. And whereas The contract requires that Heidelberg consent to such further investigations, which consent Heidelberg has refused to provide, and whereas in consequence of such a refusal, the town board has determined to terminate the contract. Now therefore be resolved as follows. The contract shall be terminated in accordance with the terms thereof, and the town supervisor shall provide the written notice necessary to effect such a termination.
Second the motion.
We have a first and a second. Any additional questions or comments from the board members? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye.
This would be financial impact on that, is there any?
My understanding of the purchase agreement is we had a $10,000 deposit on the property. If we chose arbitrarily on our behalf not to move forward, we would not be refunded. But because we're not moving forward because of their actions, that $10,000 will be coming back to us. So we'll be out the legal fees and
The cost of phase one environmental.
the phase one environmental study, and also about half of the Weaver made survey when we made that choice. So the surveyor had found about half of his, which is about $1,500, somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000. So it's probably 10, 12 total that we will have expended.
It's too bad it couldn't have worked out because it would have been good for both the site and for the town.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
seems like a good location. It's a shame.
It's kind of an eyesore.
Mm-hmm.
Not an easy one to answer. You know, not to.
Let's finish this and we'll answer that. Sorry.
We can
Okay.
answer that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the last question? Sorry.
What is dumpster there?
No, I mean, in regards to this stuff. If there was no further on this, we've all said aye, correct?
Yeah, unanimous.
I just public question. May I ask what the purchase agreement previous was?
The dollar amount, or
Yeah,
it was $525,000.
okay. Thank you.
Yep. And there is a final question, since we have covered everything on the agenda. We do not have the date set for dumpster day yet, which we probably need to do at the next meeting.
Yeah, good idea.
And then I did have one thing that was completely unrelated that I wanted to bring up.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
get on the general public record. The, been working with our internet provider for the town website, 2025 videos, audit meetings, and notes are all down. They're working on restoring those. So that's one thing I'm trying to tie off of them. And then there's a requirement to be a .gov. So we have that domain reserved. And now I'm working with the same internet provider to get just the basically so the town of Hector is in compliance with New York State. So both those things are moving forward. It's slow. Apologize, it's not faster.
So once again, if you have tried to look at meeting agendas and notes or minutes from 2025, they went down. There's no responsibility to us, no explanation to us, and the website company is working on restoring them.
Mm-hmm.
But you could get them by contacting town hall if you were looking for that.
If you're desperately looking for them, in the immediate future, you can get them from.
It sounds like it should be back up pretty. Liz, did you?
I make a motion to adjourn.
What was this page?
That's the group.
The teardrop. It was like
That was
continuation.
Like, it was completely separate.
Wait, yeah, page.
Okay, we have a first and second. Thank you all.